Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Today we're going to be looking at Skald against the Black Priory. And yeah, this is old school. This is before my time, I would say. To a certain degree. This is like sort of Ultima, like 4 sort of thing. This is a CRPG, a fantasy CRPG set in that sort of style. Like kind of late 80s, early 90s PC RPGs. So I wouldn't say I have any real degree of nostalgia for that era of gaming. You know, I was kind of just a console gamer until like late 90s, early 2000s, and then I was getting into like, you know, that era of CRPGs, Baldur's Gate 2, Fallout 2, that sort of stuff. Planescape Torment. So this is a bit more for my time, but I will say that I really like the aesthetic here. I think it's pretty cool. And based on what I saw on the Steam page of the gameplay and stuff, I think this is going to be pretty sweet. So, this just came out. It says it's a pre-launch, but it's not early access, so I don't know exactly what that means. But let's just get into it, shall we? Choose a visual style. You can put on a CRT filter. Oh, goodness. Yeah, again, I don't know. This default is recommended. So this is what the developer intends for you to play on. I think I'm fine with that. Welcome to character creation. Start by picking a difficulty for your playthrough. Difficulty can change during play. How convenient. Easy mode. Oh. Great way for players who are new to this style of role-playing game to experience Skald. Combat is forgiving and there should be little need to optimize character builds. Dice rolls are weighted in the player's favor. Boy, I mean, not really a compelling argument you're making there, dude. Normal mode is the game's intended difficulty setting. There is only very limited artificial smoothing of certain dice rolls. Yes, very good. Miss smoothing 3 compared to 4. Okay, I mean, I don't know obviously what all that means, but narrative miss smoothing 10 and hard is miss smoothing 0, and dice rolls are actually slightly weighted in the opponent's favor. Yeah, I would love to know what exactly that means. Like, if you miss by only 3, it's not a miss? Or 3 or less or something? I don't know. Combat heal disabled, no encumbrance disabled, cannot die disabled, ignore food disabled, no trash mobs disabled. Which is also true for all of them. So those are all optional settings if you want to put on. But again, we like to play as the developer intends. So we'll just be going normal mode. Select a class for your character. Classes define a character's role in the party by adding certain exclusive abilities. Okay, we have the Arms Master, the Battle Magos, the Champion, the Guild Magos, the Hierophant, the Hospitaller, Officer, Ranger, Thief. Okay, boy. I'm doing that, I'm doing some solo RPG stuff with Pathfinder 2nd edition right now. So I'm gonna go with the character that I have in there, or one of the characters I have in there. And he's a champion, so it's funny enough named the same thing. So a champion is a cleric who excels in the use of blades and armor while still having limited divine spellcasting abilities. It's a paladin. Yeah, we all get it. The main attribute for this class is presence. May use any armor. Sounds good to me. Select a background for your character. Backgrounds add points in skills, influence, starting conditions, and narrative content. Ooh. Acolyte Courtier. criminal, ex-legionary, guilder, noble, sailor, sellsword, street rat, thug, vagabond, wildly. So the character he's actually an orc. And I guess he just used to be like an orc soldier. So we'll just go with ex-legionary. Plus 30-pound carrying bonus. Distribute points to your primary attributes and skills. These go a long way towards defining your character mechanically. Alright, so primary stats: agility, fortitude, intellect, presence, strength. So, yeah, I mean, traditionally, presence or charisma is a very important stat for paladins. A lot of their abilities do key off of it. But to say that it's their primary stat is a little iffy, and I hesitate to just put all my points into that. Because I think we are going to need fortitude for sure. And strength. So let's go 3 presence, 3 strength, 1 fortitude. Or 2 fortitude. And then for skills, athletics does sound important. Counts encumbrance from armor. We want to be very heavily armored. So that's gonna be something. Awareness. Healing is used in camp to increase the rate of wound recovery for wounded characters. Also influences the amount of vitality regained from healing potions, and is used in dialogue tests when dealing with medical issues and such. Okay. General knowledge, survival, nature, yeah, okay. Alright, well, we definitely want points into athletics. I don't know how much. I don't know what's like an obscene amount. I don't know if we should specialize more or be a bit more general. You know, CRPGs kind of vary in that aspect. But let's go 6 athletics. Let's be a little aware. And then, yeah, he's not really the face of the party, if there is such a thing. But if this is my main character, I mean, maybe I want that. But we probably want some survival, and I guess we'll throw another point into healing, because he is sort of a cleric. I don't know. Anytime you play a CRPG for the first time, your first character, probably suboptimal. These are the feats derived from your class. Distribute your development points in them to gain benefits and new abilities. To gain spellcasting abilities, you must purchase ranks in the relevant Violet Feat tree. More spells can be learned by studying spell tomes that you acquire as you adventure. This all sounds very exciting. Okay, so we got religious training. Divine spellcasting, that's going to be important. And arms mastery. 1 rank gives us Imperial Litany. Adds Fortified Will, removes Fearful and Panic. I like what you're saying to me. Time use move equivalent. Okay. Well, we should probably put ranks into all this shit. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're gonna do that. Let's get a point into this, because that gives us +1 melee to hit. If we go 3 ranks, we get ranged accuracy, and 6 is precise strike, which is a full round action, +4 accuracy. This is very RPG. This is very tabletop. This is quite interesting. I don't know what to expect. Alright, so with Divine Spellcasting, 1 rank lets us, cast Divine Spells, which is important. Body Magic Initiate. So we need to put 3 ranks into this to get Body Magic Focus. which gives us level 1 spells. And then we get 2 new spells from Body Magic. Mind Magic or Spirit Magic. Without knowing, you know, obviously what all the spells do, I'm surprised there isn't some sort of vague, quick little summary of what Spirit Magic might be. But this is going to be important as well. Increased vitality, will, toughness, increased healing, increased attunement. You know, it's a way to get increased +3 vitality from this. I think we're going to put a point into that. Do I want +1 healing? More attunement determines how many spells can be cast between rests. +1 aura radius, that could be pretty big, but without knowing the spells, it's hard to say. Shield training, +1 shield use. Added to dodge when using a shield, that's very good. We're definitely going to put a point into that. Then we can take blade accuracy, +1 hit bonus with blades. Sure, and then... But that does mean that we can't actually cast any spells at level 1. I don't think that's absurd, but it also is like, what are we really good at? We're basically just a fighter. I'd have to nix... I'd probably nix blade accuracy and... I don't know, I'd hate to nix shield training. Yeah, probably that. Alright. Nix those and we'll grab body magic. In the hopes that that's some sort of good stuff. Pick 2 new body magic tier 1 spells to learn. We got Bear's Strength. Which it will not... Oh, there it is. Targets any ally adjacent to the caster, adds fortified strength, +2 strength until end of combat. Okay, I assume allies... Actually, I don't know if this will work on myself, based on this phrasing. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, obviously, it still has use. Cure Moderate Poison. Removes moderate poison, weak poison. Minor Lay on Hands. That's obviously a big one. Heals 3 to 6 plus magical aptitude vitality. Or health. And Serpent's Grace adds fortified... Oops. Agility. +2 agility. Alright, let's grab Bear's Strength and Minor Lay on Hands. Finalize your character by editing their appearance. Well, we're going to be male. I doubt they're going to let me be an orc, so we'll have to make do. He's vaguely orcish. His portrait, though, is... Yeah, okay. Oh, hair color. There you go. Alright, that's fine. They have a name. His name is Garziel. Alright. On the wine-dark, raging seas of the Outer Isles, a lone caravel struggles against the winds and waves towards the accursed island of Idra. The moan of creaking timbers, the tang of preserved fish, your eyes slowly adjust to the darkness of the ship's dimly lit hold. Suddenly, something strikes the hull and the ship rocks violently. Your heart begins to pound and a feeling of unease grows in your stomach. Rouse yourself from deep meditation. You get to your feet and become aware of agitated voices shouting up on deck. Something is not right. You should make your way up top and get a bearing on the situation. Yes, I should. Alright, Wazda. Look at this stuff. Whoa. Mousing over an interactable object will make a yellow outline appear. Again, left click to interact, right click to examine it. Holding down shift will highlight all interactable objects in view. Nice. It's one of those things that would just never be ever present in, like, the early 90s or something, you know? Some objects are hidden and won't be highlighted until they are spotted. Something just struck the ship. Alright, we have a light club and a dagger. Okay. Nice. Okay, it doesn't... Oh. To your surprise, you realize that this door has been locked from the outside. It doesn't budge. Perhaps you could slip the lock with a thin blade or use something to smash it. If you've not already done so, you must equip a weapon. Press E to manage your equipment. Double-click on items to use them. For weapons and armor, that means the item becomes equipped. Alright, we have a dagger, which is a light blade, but I don't think we got any blade bonuses. So we probably want, yeah, the club. Plus hit, to hit is 5. Yep, this is slightly better for us. Use club. Using the club, you smash the lock in a fell swoop. Door begins to creak open. As the door swings open, you can now clearly make out cries from the deck above. You should make haste. I spotted something. Whoa, whoa! That is quite old school. And you can just cheat. Win combat. Okay, cool. Ah, short sword. Leather armor, steel helmet, some potions. This is good. Well, we definitely want the short sword. Double the damage and crit. That's certainly beneficial to us. And we want armor, which has a soak value. For every physical attack scored on the character, the damage is reduced by a random amount ranging from 0 to the character's combined soak. That's an interesting way of doing it. That's obviously a very digital way of doing it, but I think you could make that work on a tabletop. You'd have to just have... Yeah, you could probably do that. It would depend on the rest of the system, but, like, you'd just assign, like, a D6 to this armor, or D8 to this armor, or, you know, 1D12 plus 3 for, like, a really good piece of armor, and then I guess you just roll all those up. It would be obnoxious, though. It would be extremely obnoxious to do it that way on a tabletop. You stop dead as you narrowly avoid stepping in a rust-red puddle. The stench of blood fills your nostrils, and as you look around in the dim light of the hold, you realize someone, or something, fought for their life here. The same moment the thought hits you, a hiss sounds from the shadows. You squint towards the shadows as a hunched, feral-looking form slowly slinks forwards. Tiny, disgustingly human-like hands, yellow fangs, and a grotesquely dexterous pink tail leaves no doubt of the creature's rodent nature. Though as it emerges from the shadows, it becomes abundantly clear that what may have started life as a common ship rat has now grown into something that has no right to exist. A second hiss sounds behind you, and the abominations lunge at you. This is very, like, start of campaign sort of encounter. Okay. In combat, characters act in order of initiative. You can view the initiative order by using the initiative widget on the left side of the screen. Mousing over the widget makes it pop out. Note that mousing over a name will make that character's outline flash on the battlefield. The widget on the lower right side represents the character's action points. The yellow pips represent movement points. Violet pips represent attacks. You can move a number of the tiles each combat equal to your movement points and attacks. By spending attacks to move means you won't be able to attack that turn. This is a good way of moving extra far. Performing an attack will clear out all remaining movement points. In other words, attacking will end the character's turn in most cases. Okay. Pressing shift in combat brings up the tactical overlay and makes it easier to see the exact positioning of characters and the underlying grid. Death or glory! This is epic, man. Deploy your party and begin... Okay, well, we want to be close. Oh, not that close, though. I didn't see I lost initiative. Oh, I probably didn't roll until afterward. Okay, so we have 3 movement points and 1 attack, so we can move up to 4 squares on our turn if need be. But obviously, combat maneuvers. Oh yeah, Imperial Litany. Right, cool. Boom! Whoa, whoa, do I get to see... Oh, I'd love to see... Okay, so there's a combat log. Okay, so... The first rat used weekly infection. Your unarmed attack may cause disease in the target. He then had a +2 to roll. Okay, so it's a 2d6 system. Okay, it's like maze rats. Okay, so my oh, and you roll for defense. That's not unheard of. There are plenty of systems where the Dungeon Master, the GM, never actually rolls anything. All rolls are done by players. But in this case, there's an attack roll and a defense roll, which is quite less common, actually. So that's pretty interesting, because then your defense is very fluid. But yeah, I mean, okay. So he obviously rolled extremely well, while I rolled the average, and he had a +2 in his attack, so... Alright, and then he used Infect. So now I'm weakly diseased. -1 agility can be removed by magic. And I took 1 damage from the rat, which was not a roll, so maybe static damage numbers for enemies. That's fairly common. And then I rolled, and I got +5 on my roll. Which +5 seems very big at level 1 on a 2d6 system. But I guess... Okay. So obviously I hit, and I did 8 damage. How did I do 8 damage? It doesn't show the damage roll, unfortunately. 4 to 9 damage. Oh, it's probably modified by your strength. I have +3 strength. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. So then I do 1 to 6 +3, which is pretty good. Just trying to understand the system, that's all. I injured his arm, which is interesting. That's pretty horrible, really. Then the second one attacked me with weakly infection. And he... Wow. Why did he get +5 on his roll? Why is he so good? Oh, because he was charging. Moving at least 2 tiles in a straight line before performing an attack allows characters with a melee weapon to perform a charge attack. Adds a bonus to your hit chance depending on how far you manage to move before attacking. Ah, very important to know. Okay. See, that went by a little quick, and there's no log. I have to bring up the log every time. I mean, there might be a setting somewhere. I don't know. Meh. Okay. Just... Okay. Fine. 74 XP. Loot the corpses of your enemies. Get some rat tails, baby. And grab their potatoes, because the ship's sinking. Okay, so we are injured at the moment. I'm weakly diseased. I like that it doesn't tell me my max vitality. It just says vitality 9. So I don't know what to make of that. But I could cast Minor Lay on Hands. And gain 3 vitality back. Okay, count. But I don't know how many times I can cast. No, that information is beyond you. Oh, there you go. So, okay. It's not quite fancy, and it's like mana, really. So, Lay on Hands costs 3 attunement. I have a total of 16 per day. I have 3 magical aptitude, so this heals 6 to 9 health. That's pretty good. You've contracted a disease from your fight with the rats. You may see what conditions are affecting you by opening the character sheet. Not all conditions are negative. Negative conditions can often be cured by magic or rest. The disease can be cured by a potion. Pick up and equip the lantern to search the area. Okay, and sounds like perception checks. Lantern. Equipped. I spotted something. Potion of Cure Disease. Why don't we use that right now? Haha. Okay. Oh, spotted something else. Some salt. There's crafting, apparently, so that's exciting. You emerge onto the ship's lower deck. As your eyes adjust to the darkness, you become aware of a hulking figure standing in the shadows. Garziel, here at last, growls a rough voice. Plunge at the figure. Freeze and listen carefully. Feeling jumpy? The brute growls with a smile. You tend to have that effect on people. Where are we? Huh. The old veteran grunts, and what passes is laughter for him. The island is in sight, but the damn Guilders refuse to land. They want to turn back. If we turn back, we lose our shot at the girl. And no one gets paid. Listen here. I know our boys better than most. We've hired them to go to Idra and kill. If we don't pay them, things will go bad quickly. But the sailors are bloody terrified. They claim something is hunting us. Let's go, for all the good it will do. Wait, there's a few sailors up ahead, rattled as a pair of rabbits. We're not here to make friends, if that's what you're suggesting. Spill sailor blood and the guild will want to make you pay. Take the left door ahead and spare us some trouble. And a pay cut. Perhaps. Anything else you feel compelled to tell me? Let's just get off this bloody boat. Motioning for you to take the lead, Roland falls in behind you. From above, agitated shouts can be heard. Okay, you've added a new character to your party. Press Q or the character portraits to swap the party leader. Current leader's attributes are useful for tests outside combat, such as awareness or stealth. Familiarize yourself with the attributes and abilities of your party members and have the right character take the lead depending on the circumstances. When a new member joins your party, they level up to your current level. Because of this, we now see a level up icon on your new party member's portrait. Okay. Roland is a level 1 arms master. And he's got a two-hander. Damn. He's got 11 points to distribute. Bred for War and Arms Mastery. Well, we certainly want to point into Arms Mastery. And then, whoops, do not do that. May as well put him in the two-handed initiate, because that's what he's using. Should we go all 6? Should we just make him brain dead and simple? And then we'll go Bred for War 1. Increased toughness could be good. Charger. +1 charge bonus. We'll see. Probably rather just have a bunch of health for him. Simple. Brain dead simple. some Perklins. Crafting. To create new items, double-click ingredients in your inventory to place them in the workstation and then press craft. If the recipe is valid, new items will be created. The recipe list in the left column represents known recipes. You learn new recipes by experimenting or by finding recipe books out in the world. Recipes that can currently be crafted are shown in green. Crafting is dependent on the crafting skill. Okay, well, obviously, I don't think Garziel's good at crafting shit. But I can't imagine this guy's good at crafting anything either. No, crafting 1. Crafting 1. We don't know shit. But, we could mix some fish and potatoes. Oh, no. Salted fish. We can make that. What? You need some other ingredient? Oh, shit. I made salted fish out of potatoes. Fish, potatoes, and salt is salted fish. What sense does that make? Okay, but we got 4 of them now. Preferably eaten with a mug of ale on the side. And it's food value of 7. Whatever that exactly means. I'm not going to eat it right now, but there you go. I got some thieves' tools, some gold. Grindstone. Stealth and -4. Stop it. Okay, well. A note is scrawled in crude letters. Kook. I cannot stand another meal of salted fish. There is a limit to how long a man can live on salt, potatoes, and Perklin. Take head, or get a dagger in the eye, you cheap bastard. Huh. Thank you for providing the recipe. Okay, press the hide button to go into stealth mode. While in stealth mode, the stealth indicator becomes visible. A yellow indicator means you're in danger of being spotted. When it reaches 0, you are spotted and will become visible. Moving in lit areas and be close to other characters will make the counter go down very fast. Stick to shadows and avoid other characters. Your ability to stay hidden is dictated by your stealth skill. Well, we are 2 very unstealthy characters. Okay, how do you... Oh, there you go. So then you refill your stealth meter, as one does. Oh, but that's an open doorway. Yep, there it is. The sailors stare at you wide-eyed and terrified. Dead Emperors! It's coming for us! It whispers to me! One of them draws a weapon with shaking hands. Calm yourself. You're guild sailors. 3 plus 2d6, difficulty 10. I have to roll 7 or above. Well, it's 50-50 or so. Failure. I rolled 3. No, I rolled 6. Yeah. Half insane with terror, the sailors scream and lunge at you. Well, what are you gonna do? Let's do that, I suppose. Okay, Roland goes first, so Roland's gonna step up, charge bonus, and fucking destroy him! Holy shit! Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. 13 slashing damage. Dude. Wow, I feel like that guy was not actually fighting us. Why did we just butcher him? Jesus. Okay, and there's no looting the corpses, I guess. You cannot rest anywhere in this area. You must look for a suitable campsite elsewhere. The apothecary's desk. Moderate tonic of vitality, electric resistance, fire immunity, and strength. +2 strength till end of combat. A fine dagger. And moderate attunement tunic. You recognize the corpse of one of the crewmates, a young man of barely 16 years called Sullum. The youth has been mauled to death by what you assume are the grotesquely altered rats you encountered just minutes ago. The corpse is still warm. We get some brandy. Adds fortified will and intoxicated. Intoxicated seems pretty bad. But I guess if you don't use agility or intellect, and it lasts until next rest. Damn. If all you care about is +2 willpower at the moment. Gold. And can you read the surgeon's journal? Yeah, you sure can. Look at that. Look at that. You can get all the lore you want. I keep clicking that. Okay, obviously we can't rest. There you go. Shoddy wooden chest. We can pick it. Or we can force it. Pick or force the lock until its HP reaches 0. Party has 5 feet. Well, we're of course going to force it. This is what we do. Okay. Well, that certainly beat it. So I think we did, yeah, we did 4 damage to it because that was the difference. And there you go. We forced it open. Masterwork short sword and a buckler. Now you're speaking my language. Okay. So this adds 1 to accuracy and 1 to damage. And we get a buckler. +1 dodge. Well, good, because we want shields. This game is very RPG. Very tabletop. You emerge onto the deck and see 2 groups of men facing each other with weapons drawn. The ship shakes violently in the grip of a storm as lightning tears across the sky. Amidst the din of the storm and their frantic arguments, you bellow for the attention of the assembled crewmen and mercenaries. Both the ship's captain and the leader of the mercenaries you hired, a coarse thug of a man named Estavo, turn their attention to you. They look ready to use the unsheathed weapons in their hands at the slightest provocation. Okay, well, we're going to address the mercenary leader first. The mercenary leader, Estavo, flicks his dark eyes to you, but keeps his blade fixed on the desperate captain. There's a reason he's known as Fireblood to his men. Estavo, you'll get your money, but let me handle this. A cruel smile twitches into life on Estavo's wind-weathered face. There's only one rich, noble girl, but we can always find more sailors. The ship's captain bristles at these words. Captain, why have we not dropped anchor? Something dire stalks these shores. We cannot approach without risking the ire of that horror. A jittery mutter of agreement rises from the sailors, causing Estavo's eyes to darken even further. What horror? What have you seen? Naught but glimpses. My men have seen the shadow of something deep in water, stalking us. Nothing natural moves like that. Estavo glares murderously at the captain. You renege on our deal based on a glimpse? There's a desperation in the captain's voice. We are seasoned sailors. We do not balk at shadows. You need to be alive to rescue this girl you speak of. We're out of time. Sail us in or argue the point with Estavo. Estavo turns his steely gaze from you to the captain. Let me spell this out for you, sea dog. We contracted to rescue the girl, but if you don't get us to the shore, we'll gut you for free. The mercenaries you hired all shift their weight in anticipation of making good on that promise. Captain, he's right. Do what you were hired to do. Something changes in the captain's expression. He stands tall. I will not order my ship and my men to certain doom. We shall not get any closer to the coast while I have command. I believe you, but my contract with these men does not mention your survival. Alright. We have pretty good odds. Nice. A few of the ship's crew lower their weapons. The captain's eyes flit between you and Estavo's murderous grin. He sheathes his blade and speaks softly, his voice barely audible over the snapping sails. So be it. May the deep have mercy. You gain 300 XP! That's an important thing if you're ever gonna DM a tabletop thing. You should give the equivalent amount of XP if your players resolve a combat without combat. Suddenly, huge monstrous tentacles burst from the water around the ship. For a split second, before the terror sets in, you wonder what Estavo must be thinking as the monstrosities loom over him. Oh, Jesus. After reaching their full height, the tentacles curve inwards and smash into the ship. Some pierce straight through the deck. Others snap the masts like they were matchsticks. You stand frozen in place. Through a haze of splintered wood and panicked screams, you notice Roland. He throws himself out of the way of a tentacle, but begins to fall overboard as the ship lurches once more. Go to Roland's aid! You dash towards the ship's fractured rail, dodging holes in the deck and wounded men, beseeching you for help. Roland hangs by one arm from the side of the ship. Try to grab him. You lunge for Roland's arm, but he loses his grip, and your fingers close only around thin air. You missed him by an inch. He falls wordlessly downwards. You watch as he is swallowed by the raging sea. The ship is listing fatally, and you see the great tentacles high above you, poised for the coup de grace. Coup de grace. As you jump, you hear the terrible rending of wood giving into flesh. The impact of the water winds you. The waves pummel you down. The currents beseech you to go deeper, ever deeper. Peaceful blackness. Sink. Oh, shit. Look at that image. Two weeks earlier. A guardsman dressed in the livery of the noble house Baron. The guard scowls somewhat at you. Armsmaster Lyra awaits you at the main entrance. You best talk to her if you've not already done so. An aging armored man in the livery of House Baron stands and scowls at you. Eyes like coal peer out from a craggy face fringed top and bottom with wild white hair. Return his challenging stare. The older man crosses his massive arms, steps forward, and leans towards you. So, young sellsword, come looking for a scrap, have you? Though his voice is full of gravel, there's now a glint in his eyes, as though the old coals have begun to warm up. Kitty on, you old fool. A single bark of laughter emanates from the dense beard as he embraces you in a crushing bear hug. Kidion may be older and grayer, but from the force of his hug, you don't reckon you'd have any more chance of beating him now than you did as a 12-year-old. Go easy, old boar. Kidion steps back and allows you to breathe again before grabbing you by the shoulders. We heard of your father's passing. Truly, he sits with the golden dead now. Tell me, how did he die? In glorious battle at my side. Kidion's eyes narrow. Then the old warrior died a fitting death. Kidion is quiet for a moment, then breaks into a grin. We'll raise a cup to his name, together, you and I, soon as you're done with Kato, and I can rustle up some ale fit for a guest. Kidion, why am I here? Master Kato will chew your ear plenty when you see him, Garziel. Lyra, the new master-at-arms, awaits you by the main entrance. She'll escort you, and don't ask her not to, if you think I had a temper. The joke fails to hide the note of anxiety in the grizzled house guard's voice. What are you hiding from me, old bear? Old bear! Alright, I'd have to crit for this to... No, okay. I won't betray my master's confidence by saying more. Best you see him yourself. The man offers a smile, but it fails to iron out the concerned creases around his eyes. Very well, I'll go look for the master-at-arms. If you want to explore, for old time's sake, take this lantern. Lord Baron will wait, and we don't want you getting lost in the hedge maze again. The man laughs heartily and hands you a small brass lantern. Whatever may come to pass, it did this old warrior a barrel of good to see you again, boy. The old man slaps you on the shoulder in parting, almost knocking you off balance. He then seems to remember something as he leans in conspiratorially. My damn knees are acting up again. Can't hardly sleep on account of the aches. Let me tell you, I'd take an arrow in the leg any day. Oh boy. If you're going over to the kitchen later for a bit of grub, a bottle of brandy from the wine cellar would make me a happy man. Gideon shifts as if to emphasize his stiff knees. But first, don't keep Lyra waiting any longer. Talk to her first, and I'll be here for later. Okay. Oh, a dog. You pet the dog. I mean, it's, yeah. You just have to. As a dev in 2024, you just have, if you're going to put an animal like that in your game, and almost, you know, it's to the point where if you put in any animal in your game, you have to allow the player to pet it. Otherwise, they'll be outraged. A woman stands before the main entrance to the villa. Her posture speaks of a graceful, coiled power, that of a dueling ace. No doubt she is the new master-at-arms for House Baron. As you approach, she offers a quick, neat bow, just low enough to be respectful. Greetings, Garziel. Master Cato welcomes you back to House Baron. The Master is eager to meet with you and is ready at your leisure. However, if you wish to refresh yourself first, he suggests you visit the kitchen for some food, and then perhaps walk the grounds and gardens. Why have I been summoned? That is for the Master himself to answer, and he will soon enough. For now, though, please get some food and look around. I'm sure old Gideon would be happy to see you if you've not talked to him already. Very well. Excellent. Though I'm sure you still know your way around the grounds, the kitchen is in the building to the east, and the garden and hedge maze is to the west. Maze is to the west. Come back and check in with me, and once you've stretched your legs. Alright. You'll find the kitchen in the eastern end of the courtyard. The garden and hedge maze is at the west, and I needn't remind you that it's a poor idea to enter the maze without a lantern. Have a good evening, my lord. What do you mean, east this way? Yes. Okay. You enter the kitchen, and a pair of scullions offer a hurried bow. It's also much quieter, emptier, and gloomier than you remember. Of course, old Magda is no longer where she used to be, sitting by the oven, kind, red-faced, and tending a shank of lamb. You remember the matronly woman as she sat, humming to herself, pouring fat over the roasting meat. Child, come here, will you? Magda was always a beacon of kindness in a childhood where such qualities were few and far between. Magda clasps you gently with her tubby hand. Have you eaten yet? Before you can answer, she produces a small bundle of treats from her apron and hands it to you. As son to the Master-at-Arms for the Great House Baron, you did not go wanting, materially, at least. Magda looks at you with kind eyes as you pick at the bundle. He's here again, down in the cellar. He's not so good, my child. Sleeping now, but it would be best if you got him to bed before his men see him like this, again. The knot in your stomach is as real now as it was when you were 12. I'll go get him. Don't worry, he won't make a fuss. He just needs time. You know, Garziel, deep wounds take a long while to heal. The old woman turns back to her meat and resumed her meandering humming. The sound of a man clearing his throat snaps you back out of your reminiscing. May I help you, my lord? The man in a chef's outfit offers in a hoarse voice. Well, let's see. No, we're not going to craft anything while we're here. We're in the basement. We're going to get another lantern for the hell of it. Empty bottles litter the floor of this room. You chuckle to yourself as you imagine the kitchen staff in there, in their wine tasting sessions. No doubt much revelry has taken place here. Then a cool gust of air from the passage to the north. The wine cellar lies that way, and you can almost hear faint sobbing. Ghosts, no doubt. Cured ham. Hell yeah. This is a flashback, so I don't know how useful all this is. Get this cheddar, though. Rob this place blind, baby. Oh yeah, I can move by Wazda. Forgot. You're gripped by a long-hidden memory upon entering this part of the cellar. You sealed it away, but in so doing, preserved its strength. and now it demands freedom. You can still recall smelling him before you can make out his writhing shape in the dim light of the cellar. Mistress Valeria, open the door! Your father doesn't even notice you in the throes of his intoxicated ramblings. How could they take her? Her chambers were locked from inside. Where is she? Try to shake some sense into him. Your father jolts upright, the bloodshot whites of his eyes glaring out of the darkness. We found her! Wandering the forest outside the estate. Mistress Valeria! Help him stand. Haltingly and leaning heavily on you, your father manages to stand. She was never the same. Whatever happened broke her. It was the girl, you know. The seed was planted in Valeria that night. But how could you know? You were but a babe yourself. You help lead the now sobbing man out of the cellar. Stop it, father. Lord Cato trusted me, and I failed him. But Valeria was the one to pay the price. Mine broken, and that spawn of a child. Your father's voice seethes with fury. Enough! Don't talk back to me, you bastard! What do you know about honor? As much as your harlot mother! Your father steps away from you unsteadily, tears streaming down his contorted face. Strike the man. You draw a ragged breath and snap out of the memory, your knuckles white. You're alone in the damp cellar and don't particularly feel like dwelling there. Okay. We got our brandy, though. I have your medicine. Ha! That's some fine foraging, young whelp. Before you can get a word in, Gideon snatches the bottle, uncorks it, and drinks deeply. The old man, eyes closed in relief, lets out a deep sigh. May your sleep be dreamless. He speaks as if to himself. May your sleep be dreamless. Gideon smiles sadly. An old soldier's greeting. Something one mercenary would say to another as a prayer to not dwell on painful memories. The kind that comes with the work. Your father and I... Gideon halts momentarily and looks at you. Your father and I would always part with those words. Now I've held you long enough. Be on your way. Okay. Some drunk fools off in the hedge maze. This isn't much of a maze. Oh, that's the maze. You stand before the gate to the hedge maze. It stirs old feelings of both dread and elation. The sounds and smells of the estate grounds, as they were long ago, call to you from distant memory. You feel you could easily plunge into their depths. Let yourself go and remember. Which jade dream is it this time? Are you valiantly defending me from rebels again? Embla throws a pine cone at you, snapping you from your reverie. She's 10 years old, and you're a year her senior. Let's play hide-and-go-seek in the maze. I'll hide. You faintly hear someone yell her name from the distance. You better run, Star Child. Only my mother ever calls me that, Embla says, frowning. Where did you hear it from? Before you can reply, she flings another pine cone at you and before darts off into the maze. You hear a man's voice yell Embla's name again, much closer now. Either way, she's lost you in the winding passages of the hedge maze. Your memory tugs at you, urging you on to the center of the maze. Oh, we gotta use the left-hand rule, right? Okay, yeah, left hand. Which is like the slowest way to solve a maze, but the most reliable. Okay, we're using the left-hand rule. Going on, and there you go, easy! You stand at the center of the maze. It feels much less impressive than you remember. The ornamental pond was once an ocean, the rock at its heart a windswept island. You found me, daydreamer. You remember the tone of her voice, and can almost see the impish 10-year-old girl wading through the pond. Why do you always come here? I like the water. It's so calm. Embla shoots you a mischievous look. You notice the faintest tang of ozone. She makes a slow motion hop through the water, her fingers trailing the pond's surface. Where water and skin meet, strange colors bleed and spread across the surface. Embla, you'll get in trouble. Stop it. Embla moves her fingers across the water's surface like a painter's brush. Colors spill across the pond, and for a sleeping moment, you fancy that you can see cloud-topped mountains. Or was it the ramparts of an impossibly large city, reaching towards the heavens? The silence is shattered by a shout, along with the beguiling images. Mistress Embla, the master requests you in the house immediately. That's my father. Something's wrong. It's mother. She's ill again. I think I cause it, with what I can do. It poisons her mind. How long until mother isn't mother? Or until father isn't lord? Or your father isn't master at arms? How long will any of it last? Why are you talking like this? Do you ever feel like everything is a lie? Like there's a veil that covers everything, but in some parts it's thin enough to see through? Embla starts as your father steps breathily into the enclosed garden. He's red-faced from exertion and anger. Young lady, you can't run off like this. The whole estate is looking for you. Your mother is ill and needs you. Now! Your father shoots you a stern glance. I'll deal with you later. Embla says nothing as your father grabs her by the arm and hauls her past you, back to the house. She doesn't meet your eyes as you pass. Finding yourself back in the present, a chill has crept into your bones. You best move on. I see. I doubt there's any treasure in here or anything. That would be a little wild. Yeah, okay. You know, you gotta look sometimes. No? Alright. Well, then that's probably it. Are you ready for Master Cato, or do you wish to wander around a bit more? Have you eaten, or perhaps see the hedge maze if the darkness does not scare you? It'd scare me less if you joined me. Under no circumstance. Let's go see the Master. Very well. If it pleases you, the Master is in his office, just ahead. And note, once you meet with the Master, things may move quickly, and you may not have another chance to walk the grounds. Yes, I remember the way. I suppose you do, but I'll escort you nonetheless. A flicker of a smile plays across her face, and she beckons for you to lead the way. I failed the subquest, because I didn't eat any of the food. The opulence is faded, the shadows longer. Clearly much has changed since the last time you were here. I didn't come here to reminisce. Flanking the doorway are two marble statues. The craftsmanship is stunning, but the sight of the two women depicted fills you with sadness. One you recognize immediately, Valeria Baron, the mistress of the house. You remember her as a gray ghost, absent and unwell. The other statue depicts the girl you once knew so well, Embla Baron, daughter of the house, and now a woman grown strong and clear-eyed. Her likeness has none of her mother's cowed timidness. How fares Embla? There his eyes flicker ever so slightly. We should hasten to Master Baron. He's long been impatient to see you. What of Mistress Valeria? The mistress is vacationing in the countryside. Lyra answers curtly. Okay. Cato Baron sits tall in a tasteful but modest reception room. He looks less imposing than you remember, and with a few more crow's feet. Nevertheless, he's lost none of his composure or air of casual authority. You take a seat across a formidable desk from him. This study, like the rest of the villa, is half-lit, giving a morose cast to its opulence. The older man's face creases into a tired but genuine smile, which momentarily lifts some of the room's oppressive mood. It's a mercy to see you again. Your own man, and you're in your prime, Cato says, before a frown consumes his smile. It's just a shame our reunion is overshadowed by the fates of those we love. But perhaps, together, we can yet improve our collective circumstances. Why have you summoned me? Embla is missing. Cato's voice quivers momentarily, betraying his stoic features. Now I beg of you, Garziel, help me find my daughter. Help her return home where she belongs. What's happened to her? She left without notice a week ago. From the scant clues we had, we believe she boarded a ship bound for one of the Outer Isles, Idra. She went of her own free will. At the time, I thought little of it. Cato begins to glower. Since then, however, there have been reports, grave ones. Reports? No one, and no word, has left Idra in days. Rumor has it even the Imperial augurs are in the dark. I know not how this touches the fate of my daughter, but she must be returned to me one way or another. Any idea why she left? Something has been building in her for years. An aptitude of sorts. But I suspect you already knew. In any case, it's grown much stronger lately and drives her in ways I cannot understand. I suspect she is looking for answers. But why Idra? Why, indeed, there is little on the island save the port of Horin. If Idra was her destination, she must have landed there. What can I do? Hire mercenaries, travel to Idra and begin your search in the port of Horin. From there, I trust you to do what needs to be done. Spare no cost, just bring back my daughter. Mercenaries? Yes, if nothing else, the port will be dangerous enough. That is why I have summoned a Roland, Grey-Eye, to me, a crude but effective sellsword that I have made good use of before. He shall accompany you on the task. Roland Grey-Eye? The man is a grizzled veteran. He may have slowed with age, but his experience and reliability more than make up for it. He's also much respected by similar men, and so will be instrumental in hiring a reliable crew. I'll take it into consideration. Cato shows you his upturned palms, beseeching. I know this thing I ask of you is fraught with danger, but this is your chance at improving your fortune, materially and in honor. What say you? I accept, for Embla's sake. Cato smiles softly, visibly relieved, and for a moment he looks like the man you remember. Have you any final questions or matters to discuss? Time is, as I'm sure you appreciate, of the essence. Let's just get on with it. Cato stands with poorly concealed effort. And Garziel. You stand and meet his gaze. Return her to me. There is no other outcome of this affair. You have my word, Cato. Oh. Water blocks my path. Slowly you drag yourself from the cold water onto the relative safety of solid rock. You try and fail to stagger forwards as exhaustion washes over you in a great black wave. Oblivion takes you before you hit the rocky ground. You're awoken by the cacophonous cries of gulls circling you. Your body is a mass of pain and exhaustion, covered in 1,000 cuts and scrapes. The large white birds gather around you in eager anticipation. What a magnificent feast your bloated corpse would make. Not today. Minutes or perhaps hours pass as you lay unmoving, trying desperately to will some warmth back into your body. Finally, you manage to force your eyes open. By some miracle, you are not only alive, but you find yourself on the shores of the cursed island of Idra. Strewn around you is the wreckage of the Zephyr. You see no other survivors. Lest you find equipment and companions soon, you may have cheated death in vain. Your character is critically injured. This means you have taken enough damage to reduce both your vitality and wounds. The green bar under your character's portrait represents your vitality score. Vitality is a buffer to your wounds, and as long as you have vitality left, you won't take serious wound damage. Vitality is easily lost and easily regained. Potions and healing magic restore vitality even during combat. The second purple bar represents your wounds. Losing wounds is much more serious than losing vitality. Reaching 0 wounds means your character falls unconscious. Wounds can also only be recovered by resting or leveling up. Try to avoid taking wound damage at all costs. Whenever you take wound damage, you gain an injury condition as indicated by the icon on the portrait. Injuries confer serious penalties to your character and can only be removed by resting. A party full of injured party members has its combat effectiveness severely reduced. Making camp and resting is the surest way to restore an injured character. Note that resting is not possible in every location, so plan accordingly. You can also rest at inns when you find them. Okay, well, should we rest? We got some gold, a drinking horn, and a rusty bread knife. I suppose that's a weapon. And some moderate attunement tunic. What? Moderate attunement tonics. This is the camp screen. Use it to feed the party and select camp activities for the party members before resting. By default, the game always autosaves when you make camp. To fully recover from injuries, your party members must be well fed. Normally, 10 points of food is required per party member to recover 100%. Okay, so it's like Baldur's Gate 3. But we'll see if food actually matters in this game. Add food from your inventory by double-clicking it. Note that prepared meals add a lot more food per item than raw ingredients. Yeah. You also need to select camp activities for your party members. These provide bonuses based on your character's skills. Okay, we have no food. So that definitely is a factor. Wading out of the freezing surf, you lose your footing on the slick stones and fall heavily to the ground. There's a sudden blur of movement in the corner of your eye, and as you frantically try to get to your feet, you slip again. Standing above you on a large rock is a young woman dressed in nautical guild livery. Wet, auburn hair clings to her face in the cold wind. Magi's balls! I was sure I was the only one to make it ashore. The woman leaps from the rocks and helps you back on your feet. Looking you up and down, she fetches a wineskin from her belt and offers it to you. The skin is nearly empty, save for a last mouthful of brandy. You drink it down greedily, and slowly you feel a modicum of warmth creep into your bones. You recognize the young woman's face now. She must have served on the Zephyr. What's your name? Katiana's my name. The crew calls me Kat, or rather they did, I suppose. She looks up and down the beach with a furrowed brow. Listen, you have to get up. We need to get off this beach before you freeze. Or worse. Worse. There's something wrong about this place. Can't you feel it? Like a taste in your mouth. And there are beasts. Huge sea creatures I ain't never seen before. I saw them dragging the dead crewmen into a cave west of here. At least, I hope they were dead. Cat shudders. What do you suggest? We need supplies and shelter first. There might be salvage to be had among the wreckage on the beach. I also think I spotted the chimney of a house just north of the cliffs. A warm fire and some food would go a long way. Cat offers you her hand and drags you to your feet. She looks pensively towards the west. Also, as I said, there's a cave west of here. I think the crabs dragged off most of the corpses there, but what if they're not all dead? Might be other survivors like you and me. What's more, there's a chance one of the officers was carrying the seal when the boat sank. If we can find it, the Nautical Guild would give anything to have it returned to them. Seal? Captain's seal. It's a medallion of sorts that is carried on every guild vessel. It's not just for show either. They say the seals are forged by the Magi and that they have secret powers, but I don't know nothing about that. All I know is the guild pays well to have one returned if a ship is ever lost. It's always worn by one of the officers, but I don't think the captain had it on him when the fight broke out. Might have been the first mate was carrying it, and I think he was still alive when the ship sank. So I would say that cave to the west is where we should start looking. Ready to go? Yeah, let's go. Good. I found this bow in a cargo crate. We best find you a weapon too as soon as possible. I suspect we'll need it before long. Together you begin to move, off the beach and towards whatever darkness dwells in the island's interior. Okay. She's level 2, plus 3 vitality. Okay. So, she has a lot of agility. She's fairly well-rounded, though. Some more stealth, thievery sort of stuff. She is a thief, for what good that means. She does have a bow. She has a club. I feel like we'll probably find a club, but why don't we give that to Garziel for now? Light weapon finesse. Is a bow a light weapon? It sure is. Short bow, at least. Backstabber. Allows character to perform backstab attack against vulnerable targets. Flanked or vulnerable. Flanked if opponents occupy a tile above and below it or left and right of it. So orthogonally flanked. You get the flanking bonus. Yep. Doesn't say anything about it being melee. So there's that. But yeah, let's go 3 ranks for light weapon accuracy. Though precise strike. If I can use that with a bow, it's a full round action. But you're not likely to move as much anyways. We give it a try? Or +1 piercing damage. No, I didn't want to do that. Shit. An arrow is piercing. She could just go all in on this, all in on the bow, but I feel like her thief skill's probably also good. We should definitely get backstabber. In the hopes that that matters. Doesn't matter now until we get another character. So we don't want to invest too much into it, but let's grab increased thievery. We'll see about stealth and all that. I guess for now, I mostly care about her bow. So we'll go that. Okay, and then he also levels up. +4 vitality, +4 attunement. So he got fully healed from leveling up, which is funny. Sort of breaks the narrative a little bit. We want blade accuracy. I could also see blade damage as well, but that would be our whole level up. Phalanx, not going to be useful. Can't really do anything else. We could get more health. Yeah, let's go blade damage. And he has club now. Conch shell, glass bead. No, don't do that. I don't think there's much out here, man. Oh, here we go. Dagger. Dagger is worse damage normally, but thanks to our light weapon stuff, or our light blade stuff, pretty good. Rations. Good rest. Not that I really need to. We leveled up. That was like athletics. Roll a 4 above on 2d6. No problem. We're up here. Some eggs. Oh yeah, we're eating good tonight. The stench of rotting flesh fills your nostrils. Ahead of you, grotesquely misshapen crustacean horrors feast greedily on the corpses of the dead crew of the Zephyr. Blasted horrors! Scat spits through gritted teeth. What manner of force has spawned these creatures? I don't know. We'll have to kill them. I can't just, like, rain down shots on them. Cast a spell, hide. No shooting down. Okay, then we'll just go around. Automatically succeed. Oh yeah. Literally can't fail. Death or glory. You started the combat here? Why? I guess we wait. No, I probably could use bear strength. Or try to use bear strength on myself. Yes, you can use it on yourself. They're coming. Oh, okay. Good. They're coming. There it is. Oh, there you go. I'll keep defending right here. Yes. Charge +1. I didn't quite catch that one. Garziel hit Crab for 6 damage. I injured his head. And then he hit me for 3 damage. Okay. Backstab! Oh, because I injured his head? Let's move back. Wait. Crit! Now, what is a crit? Oh, hold on. Is a crit just rolling double sixes? Probably, right? I don't know what a crit is. That I have no idea. Got him. That was well done. Some chitin, 4 arrow. Excellent. Bowl and a fishing hook. 4 guys. Eons worth of the sea's ravage upon the land has given birth to this cave. From its depths, a stench of seaweed and rotting flesh rises. So foul is it that it feels like some evil entity attempting to force its way through the pores of your skin into the core of your being. Toughness versus 10, try not to vomit. I have to roll 8 or above to succeed. My toughness is shit. We succeeded. Stealing your resolve, you manage to calm your breathing. Though the stench persists, you manage to push the image of foul things in the darkness, feasting on the spilling entrails of swollen sea corpses from your mind. You carry on into the darkness. I feel like it's better to specialize for your character. Since you can just swap characters to put into the lead. This looks a lot worse. I think we want to bottleneck them as much as we can. Shit. Okay. I have moderate attunement tunic. I guess we could cast. Or we could drink. That was a move action. And then I can bear strength myself. Crit. Perfect. This is exactly what we want. Backstab. Killed. Critical backstab for 19 damage. Dude, she is a fucking monster. Oh my god. I don't know what causes crits, but she's got it. Nice. Lay on Hands is a good spell to have. Picked up some rope. Another lantern. Thievery or athletics. I could just have her, but I don't know if there's a penalty to forcing it. We got a warhammer, leather armor, some locket, necklace, gold. Excellent. Well, we certainly want this. I don't think we want the warhammer. The rest is pretty useless. Lantern on. Good, good, good. Old and ruined shipping crates litter this part of the cave. Only smugglers would use a place like this to store their goods. Perhaps there are other similar caches to be found on the outer isles. Perhaps. A strangely haunting piping can be heard from the caves ahead. Surely it must be the wind. Then again, it rises and falls with an eerie sense of musicality that does nothing to set your mind at ease. Great. Oh god, that's a lot of bats. It's worrisome when we can't kill them in one shot. Yeah, I guess just defend. Oh, it's gonna get problematic, man. Oh, we caused one to panic. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. Crit. Whew. Okay. Oh, we leveled up. You had nearly grown accustomed to the foul stench that lingers in these caves, but now it once more assaults your senses with a renewed vigor, rolling out of the eastern passage like so many black tendrils probing for a way into the very core of your being. Whatever lies ahead must be at the center of the rot that permeates this pit. Great. 8 or above. We got it, no problem. You bring glory upon thine ancestors. Through grit alone, you refuse to let the foulness find purchase, and you fight down the nausea that wells up inside you. We also fucking leveled up to 3, so that's excellent. Should we take some new spells? Spells are pretty good. I do like spells. Alright, Blessing Touch adds Blessed. +1 dodge, melee, range, toughness, willpower until end of combat for 5 attunement. Mark of Heroism, +2 melee damage. Hammer of Light. We want buffs, of course. Holy Light gives Illuminated. Okay, so it's lighting. Inspired, +2 melee to hit, +2 range to hit. That's a big buff. Touch of Condemnation. -2 dodge, toughness, willpower. DC 15. Okay, stop it. We want Holy Light and Mark of Heroism. We're all about them buffs. Masterwork Full Helmet of Survival. What? Adds +1 to survival. The corpses of the doomed crew of the Zephyr are arranged around the chamber's central column. A pale light shines down from an aperture in the vaulted cave ceiling above, illuminating their bloated features and pale blue skin. Is there a form of artistry to their arrangement? For a brief moment you almost find it beautiful. The thought comes into your mind unbidden, an interloper. Stepping between the corpses, you spot a man who you immediately recognize as the Zephyr's first mate. Around his neck, a sturdy chain glimmers, and you carefully fish out a strange octagonal amulet, richly filigreed and with the navigational rosette of the Nautical Guild carved on it. This is no doubt the captain's seal, and is apparently an item that the guild will pay handsomely to have returned to them. As you pocket the amulet, you become aware of movement in the waters around you. Strange, stalked eyes regard you as several of the chitinous horrors emerge. No doubt the abominations have come to feed on the flesh of the dead or the living. And I can't switch, so it would be his stealth. The odds of that are extremely slim. Unless I can switch here. Ooh, yes, okay. She succeeded. You carefully step away from corpse and begin to try and make your way out of the horrid chamber. Awesome. I mean, combat's fun too. Can't lie. Some cider. Some more mushrooms. We'll have a mushroom omelet, I guess. Stepping into the fresh air, you pull the strange octagonal guild seal from your pocket and examine it more closely. The dark metallic surface is covered in intricately carved lines and symbols. It reminds you of a mix between a compass and an astrolabe. Try to think if you've heard about something like this before. Garza would have to roll 9 or 9. Okay. No, you don't know anything. This artifact is not mundane, and you're inclined to agree with Kat that it might be worth something to the Nautical Guild or someone else. Beyond that, the strange amulet is beyond your ken. You feel the weight of the strange device in your hands. For a moment, you're back on the deck of the Zephyr. Monstrous tentacles rise above the ship like strange alien towers. Terrified screams fill the air. You shudder. Kat's voice snaps you out of it. If we ever get off this bloody island and back to the mainland, the guild will pay well to have that returned. All I ask is you remember who told you about it. Don't worry, we'll split the coin. You can keep the coin. All I want is to be done with the guild. Be free to wander as I like. Maybe wander up to my brother and stick a knife in his fat gut. Your brother? Aye, 'twas my older brother who sold me off to the guild. I was bloody 12. 20 years is what I owe them on account of that bastard. I've already wasted 10 years. Her voice breaks for a moment before steel creeps back into her otherwise soft features. Like I said, gutting the cunt will go a long way towards setting things right. And the amulet will help you somehow. Sure, I'm free enough for now, but the guild doesn't like to let their assets go, and they have a way of catching up with those who jump ship. Even someone as lowly as me. Dangling a recovered captain's seal in front of them is exactly the kind of thing that might sway them. We'll do what we can. I'm liking you more and more. Let's start by getting off this bloody island alive. Okay, and we camp. We have rations. Eggs are worth 1 each because they're not cooked. So I guess let's use a couple rations. There you go. Training. Attempts to instruct the party using their lore skills. Success gives a small XP reward. +1 lore. Okay, forage. The food found cannot be consumed until the next rest period. Okay. Yeah, Garzil could forage. Crafting skill, entertain skill. Motivated condition. I don't get to know what that does exactly, but it's probably good. Okay, she's kind of an all-rounder. So I guess we'll try and have her entertain me while I forage for food. Although it'd probably be better if she actually fletched. So we'll do that. I don't know. It depends on if we get to a campfire. But yeah, I guess we'll forage. Begin rest. Camp activities begin. Alright, but okay. Party was well fed and rested 8 hours. Okay. Some things happen. I love that I'll never get to know what exactly occurred because I wasn't paying attention. Alright. Well, good. There you go. This video went on longer than I thought, but it's pretty damn good. Yeah, this certainly hits a lot of points for me. I'm very surprised at how tabletop RPG it is and how much it kind of displays that, you know? Because a lot of CRPGs or similar types of games kind of obfuscate all that. They're like, yeah, dice rolls occur and stuff, but you know, we don't show that. Like Morrowind. You know, Morrowind had like a whole, like an RNG system behind all the combat and stuff, but that none of that was shown to you, and that's why it seems really weird nowadays, because it is RNG based. Whereas this is very clear. 2d6 system. It's got DCs, you know, and all that sort of stuff. And it clearly borrows a lot of stuff from D&D and Pathfinder and stuff. So, yeah, so far it's pretty sweet. Definitely excited to keep going. Of course, anytime I play any game nowadays, it's like, okay, how is this going to work in Archipelago? How is this going to work with a randomizer? I don't know exactly, but I think, like, obviously, like, custom randomized character builds and stuff would be cool. But you just have never any idea what sort of... You know, you just take any feat trees, basically. Just grab 3 of them and shuffle it up, and who knows what you get. I think that's kind of cool. As far as checks go, I don't know. Obviously, there's some special equipment you can find. The Masterwork Full Helmet of Survival. I don't think this was randomly generated. I don't know. Anyways, either way, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So we'll keep going with that. And again, I really like the art style, this graphical style. It's probably not for everyone, but I think it's awesome. All right, my name is Mangg. Game watching has been Skald, the hunt. No, it's Skald against the Black Priory. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.